Morning. So today's polling day in parts of England. Went along to the polling station today, see what it was like, and I had some questions that I thought was rather odd, such as when the individual goes up to get their card to, what do we call it, mark their ballot paper. One person checks your address, make sure that you're on the list to vote, and then he calls out a number that is tied to your name. He says it was the ballot number. So then the other lady pulls out the ballots, and I noticed that each ballot paper had a barcode on it, and she was tying the person's the number that identified that person to that specific barcoded ballot paper, which I thought was rather odd, because and I questioned it, that surely if you're tying a specific marked ballot paper to an identifiable person, then anybody with a list in the ballot papers can actually see how people voted. And obviously, in growing up in Northern Ireland, I never voted, and it was only from the Brexit referendum, really. And as I've been living in the south of the UK now for 4.5, 5 years now, I thought it was best to do a bit of civic duty and participate locally, because we have some issues locally in the New Forest, like we don't have wheelie bins. There's just an issue with the waste in this area of the country. But I thought I'd throw that out to the world, especially people in the UK who are going to the polls today. Did you observe this yourself? Did you see that there was a person checking your name? They took that number that identified you, and then the other list with the ballot papers, and they tied that together. So I'm thinking about GDPR legislation, general data protection, data privacy. It's very, very easily for someone who can take a picture with their phone of that list and be able to identify what way people voted. So, as I said, it's a new experience for me. So it's the first time I've actually seen this. And has it always been like this? Has the ballot papers always been tracked? And has it always been easy for someone, I don't know who, but that information has to go somewhere, right? Personally identifiable information. I'm guessing it's going to be with the council. So I'd like to know your thoughts. If you're an MP, or if you are a council worker or a councillor, or somewhere in the electoral commission, who can explain why we're associating ballot papers and with people, and personally identifiable in a way it can be easily tracked. Why does each ballot paper have a barcode, and why is it tied to a specific number representing a person? Who has those lists? Where do they go? Where do the ballot papers go after they've been counted? Really interested, so thank you.